Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the BBQ Podcast. This is episode 6 of the BBQ Podcast, season 1. As we said in the pre-recording slash what's the word for again? The after part that we do for the YouTube video slash YouTube part of the podcast. When we did mention there, we're going to be probably making a new season shortly in the new year, so you guys can be excited for that. And I'm here with Evan.
Hi, everybody.
I think he may be lagging right now, so we'll just get straight into it. So I'm gonna start first. So Nintendo Europe released the most downloaded games from the eShop this October, and basically, uh, the number one selling game for the eShop slash downloaded. This is Europe, guys. It's only downloaded, not physical copies. Was Hades, which I find really interesting because I would have figured since Super Mario 3D All Stars is a limited time edition game, and I figured that would sell so much more than Hades. I never even heard of Hades. I'm gonna be honest with you guys. That's the most sold game in October. Nintendo released that information. I gained this from Nintendo Life, this source. Um, so that's rather interesting because I've never heard of Hades, and I honestly figured Super Mario 3D All Stars would be up there, even though it's downloaded. I do think there'd be more physical copies sold of that game since it's limited edition, but hey, yeah, we make it work. So, Evan, if you're ready, I'm not sure if you're lagging or anything, but what do you think of that information?
Oh, well, yeah, I definitely find it interesting, especially since there were a number of pretty great titles released by Nintendo this year. Um, and like especially first party titles, like Hades is a third party title, right?
I honestly have no idea. I've never even heard of this
I
game.
know.
That's why I find it so
It
interesting how
must
it's
be
a
a third party
downloaded game.
title.
I've never heard of it.
It must be third
Yeah,
party
I
because
mean,
Hades is not like Nintendo.
yeah, I know it's not Nintendo, so it's third party in terms of that, but I think it could also, but it could be in like an AA game maybe. I'm not
Right,
sure. Let's
right.
just hope that they, because I'm not sure if you guys know this, but Nintendo in the eShop currently has a really bad problem with people from really small game studios making their games like 2 cents, right? And then selling a whole bunch to them for 2 cents, right? And that makes them really high up in the most downloaded games. So I thought they fixed that, but maybe it's one of those coincidences because I didn't look much into this, but it's very interesting how that's the most downloaded game. So
It might be also because it's a lower price and many of Nintendo's first party games are
mm-hmm.
like $80. So just it being a lower price probably contributed a lot to it selling more if it is a lower price.
Yeah, but I find this really weird still because as I said, I never even heard of this game before. So I'm not sure. Super Mario 3D All Stars has 3 games in it, but again, this is only downloaded games, so I do think Nintendo 3D All Stars probably did sell more than it because of physical copies. But I just find that information very
Yeah, it
interesting.
definitely is pretty interesting. And it would be worth probably a quick Google search to learn a little bit more about the game and maybe why it actually was so popular.
Yeah, I was thinking about doing it before the podcast, but I just never had time. So I'm getting my. Sorry, I'm stumbling my words here. You're getting my honest thoughts about this, guys, which is not very much,
And
as
mine
I've
too.
never heard this game. Well, speaking of Super Mario 3D All Stars, Nintendo announced that on November 16th, 2020, they're going to release an update for Super Mario 3D All Stars for free, and this update will bring inverted controls. So, Evan, I know you love Mario games. You're a lot more into them than me. What are your thoughts on this?
Two words, PogChamp. It's actually one word, I guess. But that is the main thing, the main complaints I was hearing from like almost everyone in the Mario community, like on Discord, on Twitch. It was why are there no options for inverted camera controls? And that It's the main reason people were getting annoyed. And I was getting super annoyed too because I've played these games for so long with inverted camera, and then I go to play it now and
Mm-hmm.
it really confuses me, and it's hard to just some at first it's hard to wrap your mind around it because it's like it feels so weird because you have muscle memory, but then you keep forgetting that it's
Mm-hmm.
different, and it's just really annoying. So yeah, I feel like a lot of people are probably gonna actually want to speed run the games more. And like I saw people on Discord, I'm gonna try to play All Stars. If I can, I'm just gonna play the old original games on emulator. And the fact that now has inverted camera control, I think is gonna make a lot of people very, very happy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, as a casual perspective here, as I'm not a speedrunner for Mario games, I personally didn't really notice that much of an issue, as I have played some of those games in the past, but it was a while ago, so I never really noticed it too much when I replayed them. And because of that, I do feel like the casual ones, they didn't really care about it, but the thing is, the casuals also won't be looking at the settings a lot for this stuff. I know I wouldn't be, so those would also be very helpful to, give those extra things behind these settings. So, but yet still keeping these casual players easier to go in, because most games don't have those inverted camera controls nowadays, I'm pretty sure.
It also
So,
it is important to keep in mind that some casual players did play the game as a kid as well.
mhm,
So, some
that
might
is
have
very
an issue
true.
with that as well.
Yeah, so that is very true. Some people may remember when they were kids playing this and remembering the inverted controls. I know if when I did, I don't remember that at all. Like, but then again, I also was really young when the game released. In fact, I wasn't even born yet, so you know,
That is very young.
take that as you wish. Yeah, very young there. um, but yeah, I do think this is a good change as it's free too, so which is really nice because just paying money for that would suck so much. Like even like $2, I'm like I would not pay $2
People
for
would
that
be
feature. But
so mad at Nintendo if they charged for that. Cuz like even if
I
it
think
was just
they would be.
$2, it's like a huge inconvenience. And what's the point? Like
I know. I'm just sure glad Nintendo hasn't done that.
the problem is that's the
uh,
type of thing Nintendo would do. So
I
it's a
know, I know.
genuine relief
That's what.
when we find out that you don't have to pay for it.
Yeah, that's why I mentioned so many times. It's free. This is a free update. Nintendo. Oh man, Nintendo's interesting a lot of times here. But yeah, okay. Let's just be glad it's a free update. Little changes every now and then, quality of life. I'm hoping that eventually maybe they'll add that playback thing that they have for like the emulators that they have, like the NES, Nintendo Switch Online. Because like I'm really bad at the game,
Oh, like
so
suspend
I would like
points?
that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Sunshine's
yeah,
pretty hard. 64 is pretty hard, so Galaxy not so
yeah. I
much,
mean,
but
Galaxy, I haven't been struggling with. There's this one sunshine in Super Mario Sunshine, which I can't get, and it's so annoying. But I'm not gonna mention that now or anything because this ain't talking about my feelings podcast. You'll hear that in the pros commentary on YouTube, guys. Next up, let's talk about mobile games here. Mobile games are gonna be more and more graphic and like just so much better in graphics because people are getting better and better phones each year. It's like literally, I'm pretty sure most phones nowadays are better than my computer because I have a really old computer.
Mhm.
Now that will be changing soon as I have ordered a new one, but still, right now most phones are better than my computer. So this is meaning that many games that would have never even considered in the past to be on mobile, like Fortnite, like that, PUBG, that's another one, that have so much good graphics on a mobile. Like this is rather interesting how the games are getting better and better. Like what do you think about this, Evan? Like putting shooters and highly graphic games, like really good graphic games on mobiles. Do you think that's a good
Yeah.
solution for these, or do
Yeah.
you think they should try something else?
So a lot of the like new iPhones especially and like very new Androids are very capable of playing these games at a very like proper speed.
Hmm.
And like I've never actually played Fortnite myself on mobile, but I've watched people play Fortnite on
No, me
mobile.
neither.
And it works really well, it seems, with a DualShock 4 controller, which is what most people already have. So like controller
Mm,
connection for mobile is also like a huge like it's a huge success. So PUBG and Fortnite have all
hmm
had like massive successes on mobile, which is really interesting.
hmm
Especially since like it's a shooter and the screen is so small. But I guess some people like when you go away, it's easy to just pull out if you don't have a Switch and you're more of a PlayStation sort of person or more of an Xbox sort of person. It's really convenient to have
hmm
those games on mobile. And like even sometimes in positions where it might even be a bit bulky to carry a Switch around with you, you can just carry around a controller
hmm
and your phone and you're good to go with games like that. So, I mean, I think bringing more shooters onto mobile is definitely a good idea for multiple companies, especially if they're games that aren't free. They could actually, I think they could get money if they actually lowered the price a little bit. I think some
hmm
companies like Overwatch could make a fairly substantial profit, and I'm pretty sure a lot of people would be happy if they were able to play more games on mobile.
Yeah, which mentioned you Overwatch. Another thing is that Overwatch and Dota, Blizzard said recently that they're actually thinking about porting them over to mobile. So as I said, I do think you can actually start selling some of these games on mobile because right now Overwatch costs like I think $50 on the Switch. Makes sense. I think it's cheaper when I bought it from PC. When I bought on PC, I think it was $80. Now it's $50 for the Switch, which kind of makes sense because it's lower graphics and everything. It's like honestly, I think if they are going to put it to this mobile, and they're not going to make it free, putting it for 10 to $5 maybe, like $5 to $10, could be a good way to still make money while bringing these mobile players. And there is a really fast growing industry for this too, because I've recently seen a lot of advertisements on YouTube video, like YouTubers videos, you get paid advertisements, right? About mobile gaming phones and like they have like controllers in them. Some of them have like they're charging thing like a cord on like the side of the phone, so you can play in like what's it called again, landscape, while still being plugged in easily to the center. And like mobile phones are just getting more and more catered to these gaming stuff and just getting more and more advanced. So with this, like eventually maybe this will fade out the need for computers and consoles
Yeah.
for gaming. What do you think of that,
Well,
Evan?
yeah, that's really true, especially like since I think a lot of people forget this, but most phones have like casting and mirroring functionalities. So when you're playing on
Mm-hmm.
mobile, if you just like got off the plane and you're arriving at your hotel room and say the TV has, the option to cast to it, you just pull out your phone, connect it to the TV, and you can play the game on TV as well. Like there's so many options with
Mm-hmm.
this. And like it could be used in a very similar manner to a console. So the fact that consoles may no longer be necessary if phones
Mm-hmm.
get that much powerful, which honestly I can see the two merging. Like we get gaming phones or something like in the near future. It's a
Yeah.
very like realistic sort of
Mm-hmm.
thing. Everyone was like when gaming PCs came out, that was pretty big, right? So like we're moving in that
Yeah.
direction, right? So I think phones.
Yeah. I mean,
Go ahead.
sorry, I'll let you go. Okay. I mean, I just hope that we don't have like when you're talking about like I think phones will replace it, right? Let's just hope that like for instance Nintendo Switch with the Switch app on like your phone,
Oh, yeah.
like the voice.
There
Let's
we
just hope
go.
that doesn't happen with the majority of it. Like
Perfect.
that's let's just hope it doesn't align like that all the time because that's just gonna suck. Another thing is that
Although
this would be really cool.
I do want to say,
Sorry, let's.
I do want to say that I don't think consoles are going to go off the market or anything like that, especially since
Mhm.
they have like they're always going to be more powerful because we're always making like technological advancements. But consoles are always going to be more powerful than phones if we like keep progressing at the same pace, right? So obviously consoles are
Yeah.
going to be something that people are still going to want, but I think mobile will definitely increase
Mhm.
in popularity a lot.
Yeah, another thing about consoles still wanting to be around, right, is that I know some people they want to keep like their work and gaming stuff apart. It's like let's say they use their phone for work. They want to keep it as work, otherwise they may get distracted with games. Because I know a lot of times when I go on my PC to do some work, oh right there's the video game. So then I'm like,
Right.
oh, do I want to do this work here, my homework, or do I want to play this video game? They're like right next to the icons on the home screen, you know? And that becomes very hard for me to do work instead of playing video games.
Yeah, it's
So I
true.
do feel like it's yeah, a lot of people like the stations, to like help prevent you from, lasting off on work while still having some enjoyment on video games.
And it's
But
possible that we
yeah,
could be starting to see like people ending up with having two phones for something like that, right? Just like
mhm.
lots of people have two computers for that same reason.
Yeah, very true. I also think that how do I say this? Oh, well, what's the word I was looking for now? That like the gaming possibilities for a phone connecting to like a TV could be like so cool because like you could have like different stuff shown on the phone while stuff showing up on like TV. So like you could do like murder mystery games,
Hmm.
kind of like what the Wii U tried to do with a few of their games. Like you could literally do features like what the Wii U had with their gamepad, but on your phone. Which first of all would be a lot less clunky, and I think it would be a lot nicer. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Just kind of how like I'm personally wishing for that like Nintendo to add a feature where you could use Nintendo Switch Lite as a controller for your Nintendo Switch regular. I think that'd be really cool, as I could add lots of features for games.
Yeah, for sure.
So I do think this will also be helpful for lots of game ideas for studios. This mobile phone stuff and connecting to TVs. So since we're on the idea of ideas, let's talk about a company who doesn't have the most original ideas all the time for their new console, known as the Switch. Nintendo. So Nintendo just released Pikmin 3 Deluxe for the Nintendo Switch. I'm not sure when the release date was. I'm not a big Pikmin fan, but it's another remastered game from the Wii U. What do you think about all these remasters, Evan?
Well, I do know that a lot of people were really pumped up when Pikmin 3 Deluxe was announced. And I was like, yeah, yeah, okay. I mean, it's not Mario. It's pretty good though. But I was still waiting for that Nintendo Direct. I didn't know that it was going to come in the form of a Mario Direct where we got those announcements. So that's why I was like, when they announced Pikmin 3 Deluxe by itself on Twitter, I was like, does this mean we're not getting a Nintendo Direct soon or something? It's like at first I was like, oh, but I think it is a
Oh
pretty good
no.
port. I know they did announce online multiplayer. I believe they announced that in Pikmin 3. And
Mm.
that was something that a lot of people were speculating, will we get that in 3D All-Stars or something? And of course we know that didn't happen. But yeah, it's a pretty cool game like new feature to add for users, and I think I think they added it. I'm pretty sure. You guys might want to fact check me, but I'm pretty sure. And I think that's just really cool. Um Also, they added like a few new maps and stuff. Well, not new maps. I'm not exactly sure how Pikmin works, but I know they added a fair amount of new content, I believe. Which is also pretty cool. So it's not a straight port. They did put a bit of effort into it. So good job, Nintendo.
Mhm. Yeah, I would also agree with that. Although, like, it would be nice to have more original games. So it always would be like, imagine more Odysseys in the world. Like, that's a really good game, Super Mario Odyssey. Like, I'm sure you know that. But
Oh yeah, well, like
just more games like,
we have so many
mhm.
deluxes, don't we? Like New Super
Yeah, I think
Mario
we
Bros.
have.
U Deluxe. What else do we have? Like
There's a lot of deluxes nowadays.
Captain Toad Deluxe, or no? That was already
I
on the
think,
Switch. Yeah, but there's like
yeah,
Mario Kart 8
this was released
Deluxe.
a while ago.
Pikmin
That's
3
very true. The more and more
Deluxe.
you think about it,
There are a lot of
it's honestly
deluxes.
crazy. Yeah, I mean, since I honestly think that most of these deluxes aren't the worst thing because they are adding a little bit of content, just a little bit, but
Yeah.
it does give a lot of people who have had the opportunity to own a Wii U because it didn't sell much
And to be
the
fair,
ability to play these games.
to be fair,
Mhm.
um, Pikmin 3 was a really popular game. It was on the Wii U, right?
It was,
Yeah, it was a really
yeah.
popular game, so not as popular
Mhm.
as like
I was thinking,
some games, but it was pretty popular.
yeah, it's probably one of the most. Thing is, a lot of the issues with that, I feel like the Wii U had was that a lot of the games were also on the 3DS, right? And they were competing with themselves, kind of, right? I think that
Yeah.
was the one game that was on the 3DS, so you had a Wii U to play it too. So it's very useful that it's on here for anyone who hasn't had a 3DS or Wii U in the past to be able to play it brand new. And yeah, I'm just noticing now that since you mentioned it, there's so many deluxes. Like
And that
I
doesn't
didn't even
even
realize
count.
that
Like there
all the new games are called
there are
deluxes.
a lot of games that are just ports but don't have deluxe in the name. Like the number that actually say deluxe in the name is ridiculous.
Thing is, it's such a weird like why deluxe? Like that doesn't make any sense. Like I never use deluxe
I
in day to
know.
day like
Isn't that
language.
kind of like a
So
convention people use when they like update like an album or like a game or something?
I think slightly. I'm not sure. I mean, I do know they do call remasters a lot,
Oh yeah,
like
that's true.
remastered for like music a lot of times. But hey,
I've
Nintendo with
seen
their
some
deluxes, eh?
deluxes. But like yeah, it is interesting how much they've
Mhm.
used that term. I think that's part of the reason why they didn't call it Super Mario 3D World Deluxe. That's why they're calling it Super Mario 3D World Plus Bowser's Fury. Such a creative name, isn't it?
Yeah, which
I mean, it's better than Super Mario 3D
Bowser's
World
Fury.
Deluxe.
Thing is, I feel like eventually Nintendo's going to have like when they have the DS crazes. Like I was expecting all of a sudden to, like the next day, Nintendo 3DS X I 4 XXXL 3D, and I was like, oh my goodness, like when
New
is the end of this? Like
3DSi with 2D capabilities XL.
yeah, Nintendo. I feel like Nintendo has many times not the best with their naming of products. Let's just
And
say
of course,
because the Wii U they
especially
had the issue with.
with the Wii U when they almost went bankrupt because of their terrible business strategies.
Yeah, I mean, I don't really think business. Like, it was a good console. Well, okay, business in terms of advertising. Advertising was garbage.
Yeah,
Let's
it was a
put
pretty
that
good
out there right
console.
now.
Advertising was so bad though. And I feel like well, it was
Hmm.
pretty unique, but they could have gone a step further as well. Also, some
For
of the
sure.
advertisements, I went back and watched some of them. They're so bad. Like they're
They are.
really bad. No wonder no one
Like,
bought that console.
I mean, just the naming too. Like, Nintendo, I feel like a lot of times needs to just get better with names. Like, a lot of the times it's really confusing because even now, like, they have like the Switch right now, right? Now they have like the Switch Lite, which okay, could work. Like yeah, it makes sense for naming. A few parents may get confused. A few people get confused with that. But then they remastered the Switch slightly with like the red box now, whatever that's called. Like the Switch is a bit more advanced. Like the new Switch, we'll call it. Like
Mhm.
a lot of times that, especially since there's the new Switch leaks now, like that's gonna be really confusing when that releases. Like
Oh yeah.
parents, since Nintendo has a more casual audience than the other consoles, right? Like PS4,
Right.
Xbox. They're not like for kids. So parents aren't buying it. They're for like probably teenagers a bit more. They're designed for adults, right? So you don't need to worry about that because many of them are gamers for a while now. Like they'll be able to figure it out, right?
Well, and it's pretty simple
Whereas
when you have
Nintendo's
like
audience,
PS1, PS2, PS3,
yeah,
PS4, PS5, like very straightforward.
I will say though with the PS, there's like a few different things. Every now and then they're different, but
Yeah.
yeah, the PS is pretty good. I know for Xbox right now it's Xbox Series X and Xbox Series S. I find that really confusing. What's the difference
Yes,
between that?
that is a
And
little
like,
confusing.
yeah, I feel like if, but like, yeah, parents, again, it's not really meant for children, that console, as much as Nintendos are. Like Nintendos are primarily a children's console, let's be honest
Yeah.
here. So it's really weird because Nintendo, the one game that's like game company that's for mainly kids, like it's a mainly kids console, probably is the worst at naming their consoles a lot of times,
Yeah.
which is an
Yeah,
interesting
for
thing.
sure. Um, like Wii U, that was pretty bad. But let's go
Mhm.
back a little bit in time. Super Nintendo Entertainment System, that was also pretty bad. Like
Yeah, let's be honest. NES
Super,
and SNES, adding just one word in there, like, oh,
yeah, and then of course all
yeah,
the whole DS family and the whole Game Boy family, which like any normal person
yeah,
can't even wrap their minds around. Like there are like 50 bajillion
nope.
different models of each.
Yeah, especially when I was younger, like I found it so difficult because I bought my own DS when I like my new like old like 3DS when I was younger, right? I found it really hard to figure out what games went with my 3DS and what games didn't because there's so
Right.
many different like DSs. Like
Like
I'm pretty sure they're all compatible now, but like still, like that's confusing for a lot of people.
Nintendo every year for the past little bit. Oh, we're releasing a new DS, and this time it has one more feature than the last.
Yeah, Nintendo. I think Nintendo and their handhelds are for sure their comfort picks. Like even Game Boy and GameCube, like let's be honest, that could even be confusing for a few
Right.
people.
Yeah, for
Like
sure. Or like
PS,
remember
sorry.
like the Game Boy Micro, which completely flopped because who's gonna buy something that's so small you can't even see the screen? It was literally the stupidest idea ever. I, you don't need something that small, but like Game Boy Micro and Game Boy Mini, like that also gets confusing, right?
Yeah, it's kind of like what Apple does with their namings nowadays on their phones. Like I think there's like an iPhone X, the iPhone 12 X XL Mini SE. Like
Yeah.
what is that name? What is that name? Not it's like
Who's
even
gonna
Apple is
remember
goes
that?
really crazy with
Who's gonna
this.
buy their phone and remember that?
I mean, let's just be honest. It's better than Android because Android has like 1,000 phones
That's
off
true.
like
Like
each year.
Google Pixel,
But
Huawei.
yeah, that's very true. Google like right now there's like a 5G Google Pixel.
Oh
There's like a
yeah.
flat like even the Google Pixel family is just confusing. Like oh my goodness,
Although the
so
majority of people have Samsung, so that does.
yeah, Samsung's the pretty big uh you know Android brand. Which speaking of that, Samsung and Apple, um let's just say this is just some comparisons here, right? Why do you think people get so mad about each other about what type of phones they have? Do you have
Oh
any
my
idea? Like,
gosh. Um,
maybe let's discuss.
I
It's the
think
craziest thing to get mad
I
about.
think
Like,
sometimes it's people just joking around. Although there are
let's
the
hope.
occasional person who actually get mad about that. I don't know
Hmm.
why. It is the stupidest thing to argue
Yeah,
about.
yeah, because I personally think that both ones have their benefits. Like, for instance, a lot of apps on Apple work a lot better than on Android
Yeah.
because there's thousands of Androids that get released each year, whereas there's four Apples each year, right? Like four iOSs, right? So they can tinker to each one to like make it the best fit for it all, right? Whereas they can't really do that with they can't do that with Android because there's so many. Like that's so much. Like
Yeah, exactly.
oh my goodness, like yeah, so tinker each one. Like you just get programmed for each different screen size, all the different features they're gonna have, right? So a lot of times pictures and stuff like that just on Instagrams will be better if you have a Apple than let's say a Samsung, right?
Right.
Apple does lack some customizability, let's be honest here. There's less options as there's not thousands of them each year.
Hmm.
But
Yeah.
Samsung also is a bit more less like a bit more confusing, I'd say. Like Samsung and Android, I'll say.
Yeah, and like for my
So
purposes, I prefer Android because one, I'm not on my phone that much. I mostly use my computer. So, apps not always working properly are not always a big issue for me. and I don't use that many apps frequently. But like having an Android, is convenient for some things that you can't use
Hmm.
on Apple, and more like advanced things that don't cater to the average cell phone user. Like I believe the thing I use for streaming to OBS with my phone is an Android only thing. So, yeah.
Mm. Yeah, which is weird because I actually have the opposite. I don't use my computer as much as you do. So that's why I have an Android because then I could use more computer stuff with
Yeah,
it
that's true.
while still keeping my Android. So it kind of works both ways. But Apple does have its benefits. For instance, its simplicity is actually pretty good. Like if you have something in Apple, it's going to work. So like for instance, if you're running tech stuff or anything, and Apple's the way to go because you can make sure it works. Like let's say using it for like a sound stuff for like let's say like a band or something or like a play, right?
Yeah,
If you use
iPads.
Apple for like let's say controlling lights, yeah, iPads or whatever, right? Or even like those virtual soundboards,
Yeah,
it's
they
gonna be a
work
lot more
really well.
consistent than Android. Hmm. For sure. And just also keeping it for working as well, I'd say like if you want to have a work phone, keep the Apple as you can then use so many like features that are useful for other people who have Apples, like iMessaging and stuff like that. So stuff like that works very well. Yeah, but
Hmm.
thinking about now, let's go to the second comparison here. Like, let's just say here, Xbox versus PlayStation. Like,
Oh,
that one's even worse, I'd say, than the phone
yeah.
wars.
I think some people like have a bit more reason to get into fights or like satirical arguments about this, but
I mean, I'm just gonna say this: gamers, if you ever played on any like Xbox Live voice chat, PlayStation voice chat, any voice chat pretty much for gaming, you will realize it's the most horrible environment. Like people are gamers are brutal. Let's just say that. Like they say some really interesting and messed up things. Let's just say,
that's why
speaking
Nintendo has
of
the
bad stuff.
app, isn't it?
Oh no, not the app. Flashbacks. No. Oh boy, man. Oh man. But yeah, gamers are very interesting types of people. So I do think that also will really amplify this war. I think a lot of people just do these wars because they just get argued because they want to justify their purchase. Like, you know,
Yeah. Yeah.
people want to make sure they're getting the right thing, which kind of sucks because like you can always switch if you don't like it. But hey, so personally, I'd probably get a PS4 if I had the choice between both of them.
Xbox is
So
making
I'm
a
gonna pick
bit of
my
a
side.
comeback, it seems.
I hope it is because I've read a graph recently, like a few. Okay, it's not recently. I think it was a few months ago. That like PlayStation right now is like leading in sales. I'm pretty sure for like the PS3 and the PS4.
Wow.
So I'm kind of hoping that Xbox does make a bit of a comeback. Cause I don't know anyone with an Xbox really right now, other than my one friend, which I talk to like once a year. I know like several people with Switches and PlayStations. So I kind of do hope it makes a comeback as I do like Xbox, but I personally won't get one for a while until it makes a comeback so I can use it for friends and stuff. So yeah, that's kind of sucks for Xbox. Consoles often have if it doesn't sell well, it sells worse as not people are buying it. Like not as many people are buying it because their friends recommended it to them.
Hmm.
So yeah.
Well, I don't
And there's all
know.
the specs and stuff.
I don't know if this is something you were going to get into, but another comparison, Mac or PC.
Hmm.
I I
Again, this is
I know most people like to use Macs for like sound and stuff, or live sound and recording sound, editing sound, or editing videos. So I know that's very popular with Macs. And
mhm.
I don't know why. I mean, there are like some audio programs like Logic, which is only on Mac for some reason. It doesn't really make sense to me why they wouldn't allow use for that on Windows also, but you know, whatever. So I know that that's one of the reasons people use Macs. I
Hmm.
because I can do a lot more with it, and I can still do live sound and stuff with it, which honestly
Hmm.
I do a lot of both, like all things, so it's good for me to have those options, and I don't have money to get, a Mac and a PC.
Yeah, I personally am a PC fan as well. I really think it comes down it's kind of close to like the Android versus Apple, like iOS thing again, right?
Yeah, it is pretty
Um,
similar.
it is pretty similar. PC does give you a lot more options, but it depends. Like for instance, like virus protection on Mac is a lot better than PC, right? So like let's say you're getting a computer for your mom, then I'd probably get her Mac if they're not already used to Windows because then you don't need to worry about what they're downloading as much as let's say PC, right? You still gotta be protected as if you don't think like the first part of protecting yourself is knowing you need to be protected as well, I'd say, right? So you still need some stuff, but it's a lot harder on Mac. So simplifies that for like older people and stuff like that. I'd say Mac is a lot better. Also for editing stuff, just keeping everything like running consistently works a lot better. But I gaming stuff like that, gaming's probably the best for PC like Windows.
Right.
Linux, don't use gaming. Like don't do gaming on Linux at
Yeah,
all.
I tried gaming on Linux one time. It was bad. It did not work.
Yeah, pretty much no games are set up for Linux, and it's just gonna Linux is it's like the technical one. Like personally, when I get my
Yeah.
new computer, I'm gonna set my old computer as a Linux platform just so I can get. But that's because I'm not gonna be gaming on that. So keep one as Linux, keep one as Windows. But yeah, it really depends on what you're comfortable with. Like I'm personally, I'm fairly familiar with PCs. Like I know my way around a PC.
Yeah.
I can figure things out. I know when a website's sketchy. Like I'd be like, oh, this website is not secured on Chrome. This is probably not the best place to download this free gummy bear thing from I'm not sure.
Oh, do we take the
Free.
risk or not, boys?
This is free food. How do you download free food? This is the best. This is how you end global hunger right here. Downloading free food.
Just
Oh,
a fun fact
oh
for
boy.
everyone. If we had a 4D baguette, we could feed world hunger. That is a true fact.
Wait, what?
A
Oh boy.
4D
This
baguette could
podcast is
feed world hunger, could end world hunger. A 4D baguette.
mm, this is this podcast is going down right now. uh, oh boy. Yeah. So another news is that there's just so much more stuff you can download on PC. Like half the stuff on like Mac you can't even download.
Right.
I do think some people. No, this is actually a pretty cool thing. Is that there's something for PC slash Macs. I think it's only on PC actually, but I think it's called Bandcamp. And basically, this software lets you switch between like operating systems, like Windows, um, Mac, and Linux. So that'd be
Oh,
like,
that's cool. You'd have to
yeah,
have a pretty
like
strong computer to run that, I'm assuming.
I'm honestly not sure. I've met people who say they've had really bad computers and they run it.
Hmm.
I think you may have to reset your computer when you run it, and it does cost a lot of money. I think it costs like,
Yeah.
oh, I'm not sure how much money a year, but it costs quite a bit of money. But
And
hey,
then do you
if
still have
you
to
need to,
pay? Do you still have to pay for like actual like copies of Windows and Linux and
honestly, I know Linux is open software and free. I'm pretty
oh,
sure.
right.
Mac,
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure
You're right.
also comes just with Apple's computers. Like I don't think you need to pay for that.
Yeah.
Windows,
Okay.
I'm pretty sure you pay for like you pay for that, but most computers have it pre-installed. You only need to buy that if you're paying for like your building computer, right? So,
Yeah.
um, I'm honestly not sure if any of that stuff, like if you have to pay for that, but if any of you guys are out there and you're thinking of this comparison part, oh, what should I buy? Should I get a Mac or a PC? That could be an option for you right there.
Yes.
If only that was easy for mobiles now. That's the only thing I'd wish, you know?
Right, right. That would be pretty cool. And again,
It
like
would be.
what we talked about earlier, more powerful phones are coming out, so that could be something that
Hmm.
happens soon. Whether people are willing to pay that much for their phone is a completely different story, but
Yeah, I mean, I've already seen gaming phones being advertised, so let's just hope these gaming phones are maybe come out a bit more or something like that. And I just can't wait until like the day where like the phone has like lights all over the back, like RGB, because gamers and their lights, they love that stuff.
yeah.
So me and my brother actually, we're too poor to afford strobe lights. Like me and my brother like that, right? But we found like this program, and basically it turns your monitors into strobe lights. So we've been using that
Actually,
to have like these really fancy strobe lights. And it actually works really well, and we just been doing that for if we ever want strobe lights. So I may actually upload a video about like us doing it for like a joke, but so you can check out my YouTube channel for that.
ooh, Boom BQ uploading. First time in a few
Maybe,
years.
maybe.
This
We'll have
could
to
be
see. We'll
pretty
have to see.
pog.
But mention our YouTube channels. Yeah, that's gonna be the end of this podcast. If you want to listen to the other parts of this podcast, the post commentary, go to Evan's YouTube channel, not mine this time, at youtube.com/Eve on 10, or just search up Eve on 10 on YouTube and you'll find it. Whatever, you guys are good with YouTube's, I'm sure, hopefully, maybe.
And don't forget to subscribe to Boom BQ on YouTube, especially since that video might be coming up. So just look up Boom BQ. Again, that's Boom BQ. Pretty straightforward. You should be able to find it. It has that
In fact,
epic orange logo.
you may also find some pretty epic videos of people exploding their barbecues if you search it up. So you may want a safe search when you search that up. I'm gonna be honest with you guys. Well, be safe out there, everyone. Enjoy yourselves, and we'll see you later. Bye.
Go subscribe to my YouTube channel at EEVAN10 on YouTube. That's EEVAN10 on YouTube. You can also find my Twitch channel with the same username. And don't forget to go subscribe to BoomBQ as well. Hello, everybody. It is EEVAN10 here, back with the post commentary section on the BBQ Podcast. I am here with BoomBQ. Yes. Yes. So, during this section, this is YouTube and Twitch exclusive, and we let you guys in chat ask us some questions. And if you don't have any other questions, we'll talk about some things that we maybe didn't talk about in the main podcast, or things that have been recent developments that we'd like to cover during this section. So it's usually about 10 to 20 minutes depending on what we're doing. So to start off right now, we completely forgot to talk about the PS5 yesterday. We realized after we recorded that there were like 50 opportunities for us to, like, we were talking about PlayStation and stuff. Yeah, so the PS5 is coming out in like a couple days. When does it come out? Yes, November 12th. That is really soon. And today, when we are streaming this, it is November 8th. So it's pretty close. And I'm not gonna buy it, but I'm pretty excited to see what it's like, its capabilities and stuff. Yeah. Let's hope it doesn't flop like the Xbox One X. Yes. We'll see. And I mean, yeah, I don't think I'm going to buy it cuz I'm not too interested in any of their first party exclusives. But, you know, yeah, it's coming out, and if you're a PlayStation fan, definitely go pick one up if you have the money to. And you want to, I guess. Oh yeah, true. That's also it's also no.
Um, so
Hold
even
on,
though
hold
I've
on.
been
Oh
a bit
no.
earlier in the oh
Your audio is not going through that whole time. No. Well,
oh no.
brief recap. Okay, I fixed it. I fixed it. That's something I
Okay.
forgot to check
Hello guys,
before.
you guys can hear me now. You guys can hear me now. So I just said that basically I won't be getting a PS5, but I may get a PS4 now because they'll be hopefully a bit cheaper now on the market because there's a PS5 now. And I also said what is it? And that we don't condone stealing, so don't steal it when we should grab it.
Yeah, don't very important. Don't go like beating people up trying to take one from them, you know? That's not a good thing to do. Anyways, Boom did mention he had a very frustrating shine in Super Mario Sunshine, and if he wants to
I did
talk about
indeed.
that.
So I remember in the podcast, I kind of got a bit off topic, and I said there's this one really frustrating shine I had on Super Mario Sunshine, and I said talk about it. So basically, I forgot the shine. I forget the shine name. I'm gonna be honest. I forgot it. But basically, it's that eighth moon in Rico Harbor, and like it's so hard to get. Like you have to get a Yoshi egg, which is kind of not the hardest, but you have to get Yoshi, which it's not the easiest thing. And not only that, you have to like go across these like platforms which you use that you get on using like Yoshi's spit thing, whatever it's called. I guess that's the best word to use in spit thing, but
I think it's called
and like it's like
juice.
so juice. I'll call it to that perfect. But whatever that's called, that juice that he slowly runs out of. It's so annoying because like the platforms only last a little bit. You have to shoot them in a certain area, otherwise they won't be able to get there. Like you won't be able to get them to where it's needed to be on the platforms. And if you fail, you fall in water, and that makes you restart. Like
Yep.
it's so horrible. Like oh my goodness.
And just for
Like I'm not the best at like jumping, so it's like
yeah, just for anyone who doesn't know which one Rico 8 is, but they're somewhat familiar with the game or the speedrun, it's the one in Rico Harbor that has all the fruit RNG, and you have to feed Yoshi the fruit to unlock him, and then go up onto the scaffolding to get that shine under the like goop, I guess. So yeah, that's it's the one that can be a pain to a lot of people. So
I really hate that one. Also, that one like what's that level called where it's on top of like that shine tower? Like what's that like map called? I think it's like oh, trying to remember.
uh
Because
Pianta
you're not like
Village.
in like yes, I think that's accurate. Pinta Village or whatever. Um, that one shine where you have to like underneath like the ground to get it, like using like these like things like Mario holds on to. That one's
Oh
also
yeah,
so ridiculously difficult and annoying.
right.
Like, cause you get sent back. Like you even stay in the level and you die. Like you get sent back. Like
Yeah.
it's it's annoying. That's all I'll say. But overall, Sunshine's a good game, so let's be honest here.
Yeah, it's a little bit of a challenge, but it's a good challenge, I guess.
For sure.
Um, Also, we we did start off the series, and we were like we're gonna do Minecraft as a like background sort of thing for YouTube and Twitch. We are going to get back to that. Don't worry. It's just since Rocket League came out, we've really been enjoying that. But maybe next week we'll get back to Minecraft. We'll see. We're also really tired when we recorded the gameplay this week because it was pretty late, and it
Yeah.
was already Saturday, and we wanted to get everything done with, so we could just stream the podcast today. So we were a little late this week. And yeah. Anyways, next week we'll try to get
I
the.
mean, if you guys would like, maybe if Evan can maybe make a video 3 a.m. with the boys and just see how crazy it is. Because we had some pretty hilarious conversations since we were so tired. And honestly, it would honestly make a good video if you have like 5 people all like that. Like, so
Honestly,
if you
that
want
is
to see
so
that,
true.
I honestly think it, but we'll see, we'll see.
That'd be an
I don't want to
interesting
take all of
video.
Evan's.
That'd be interesting.
It'd be funny because our parents would be screaming at us too, which is always fun. We don't condone abuse though, by the way, parents. So please don't abuse anyone. Do condone running, like no, don't commit any crimes. Basically, is all we're saying.
Yeah. Boom, is there anything you'd like
Anything
to
that can just
mention?
show. I feel like you're trying to get me to say something, which I've already we discussed before that we're gonna be saying in this. But I forgot, so
Oh well,
I
it's
don't
fine.
remember.
Not a big deal.
Wait, what is it? What is it?
I don't remember because I didn't write it down.
Oh no.
Well, here's an important announcement. We did just make it onto Apple Podcasts, so thank you everyone for your support with that and helping us make it onto that platform. And like personally, I know a lot of people who don't have the other platforms. They're like, I told them it's on Apple Podcasts now. Go check it out. So, we're gonna get more viewers from that. So thank you guys for sharing the podcast, helping it grow. So we have been able to get onto Apple
Mhm,
Podcasts. Yeah, definitely. Thank you so much for all of that.
mhm. Yes, guys.
And
We appreciate every one of you that listen. Like, it really makes the world to us. Like, we just started this podcast. We already have quite a bit of audience, and
mhm.
we really just do appreciate you guys listening in, tuning in. Even if you may not watch the whole thing or listen to the whole thing, it only means the world to us, guys.
Yeah.
So thank you very much for
And
that.
if you know any friends you have who might enjoy the podcast, definitely share it with them because we try to keep pumping out some good video game podcast topics, Nintendo, Mario, all that sort of stuff. We want to keep getting out to you guys. So if there's any of these topics that we talk about that you think your friends might be interested in, definitely share it with them so they can check it out. If they like it, then that's cool and they get to listen to the podcast more often. If not, it's totally fine. But yeah, don't forget to share with your friends if you think they might
For
like it.
sure. Well, one thing I think that could be is that they did release the 1.7 snapshot for Minecraft, guys. So I'm not sure if, but maybe like me and Evan can maybe do a reaction video on that soon, or we can maybe even put that on the server for a bit if we want to do that for like the recordings, like the recordings when we play. So they did release the new snapshot, and it's actually pretty cool. So if you guys have Minecraft Java Edition, you guys can check that out. I'm pretty sure you can get on Bedrock now, but I'm not sure. So you know, don't quote me on that or anything.
Yep. Well, we'll see. We'll see if I remember to do some videos if I have time. But yeah, make sure to go subscribe to Boom BQ on YouTube. Link is in the description below. And go subscribe to me, which you push the
Yes,
button below.
especially Evan, guys.
But don't worry, BoomBQ will be coming out with that epic video soon, so you gotta stay tuned for that. It's very important.
Yes, when I mean soon, I mean like a year from now. It's gonna be such high production quality.
It's gonna be really hype. So
It's gonna be very
gotta
hype.
get ready for that. Gotta go smash that
If you
subscribe button. if you
If
didn't
you
like
guys like explosions, you're gonna like it.
yeah,
That's all I'll
you
say.
will. You will. I know what they're doing. It's gonna be good.
All I
um
say, also if you guys would like to sponsor that video, please let us know because we do need. It's really expensive, so that would be very useful. My Discord's you just message me on it from Evan's Discord server. I'm pretty sure. Just message me on that if you need it, and yeah, we'd love it to talk about sponsorship.
Yep. And yeah, also don't forget to hit that like button down below if you liked the video. It helps get more impressions, which in turn gets more views, which gets more exposure for the I think you guys know where I'm going with that one. So yeah, go hit that like button.
So dislike it. We don't get hurt if you dislike our
Oh
videos
yeah.
or
If
anything.
you don't
I
like
know.
it, then I guess you can dislike it.
And
If you don't
even
like
leave a
it, then
comment about what we. If you also like, you leave a comment saying you dislike it and like what you dislike, and we'll try and make it better for you. Like,
yes, that is a good point.
unless it's something like, oh, I hate video games, so I don't like this, then we're probably not going to change that for you, and this ain't the podcast for you. But if it's
Right.
something little, like let's say we're too quiet or something like that, we can see what we can do about that to change it, make it louder for
Mhm.
you or
And
quieter.
make sure
Change
that
it to
we're
something
all
like that.
audible.
For sure.
I will make sure that I was gonna check that. It slipped my mind right before I had to start the stream, so my bad on that one. But yeah, thank you guys for watching. Again, also follow my Twitch if you want to. I stream there sometimes. I used to sort of have a schedule. I don't really have that now. School is busy and stuff, so whatever. Anyways, that's about it. We will be back with another episode at the same time, 8 o'clock Eastern in
Mhm.
2 weeks from now. Next Sunday. So yeah. Is
Mhm.
that it, BBQ? Do you have anything to add?
Yeah, I think that's everything.
Okay, don't forget to join the Discord server to chat with us offline. It's my Discord server. But like we both check in stuff. So yeah. Also, you can go join Boom's server. It's kind of interesting. It's also kind of
Yeah,
dead
it's
now.
kind of a. I mean, yeah, I'll probably add it to the link, like to my YouTube about page, but I haven't updated that for years. Yeah, a lot of times I'm gonna put my Twitter and stuff in there, but I haven't done it, so
Mhm.
it's not gonna happen for a while.
Well,
But eventually you'll be able to find a link.
my server's also dead. So
Well, you have a few active people, me and here's one moderator,
me.
and you occasionally.
Occasionally, I'm less
But
active in my server than some people. That's the sad part.
hey, the more people who join, guys, the more active they'll be. So
But me 6 is pretty
hopefully,
active. Like,
Me Six is pretty active. Now, I'm not sure if anyone checks those channels, but it's active.
oh, okay.
Uh,
Well, anyways, thank you guys for watching. Leave a comment, and we'll see you in the next podcast. Bye.